to be on the show again today. Welcome to your show, Love Parenting and Mental Health Therapy with your counseling psychologist, Tosin Togun. Alright, today we are looking at something very exciting, and that is the symptoms or the signs of failing courtship. Okay, so how do you know that your courtship is kind of not working the way you want it, or how do you know that, oh, this courtship is about to collapse? When you know all of these symptoms, you are able to do one or two things in your capacity to actually salvage its collapse, if it's something you are really interested in. Okay, before I go into details of that, let me also say that every courtship has its own peculiar challenges, and of course how it is being handled is what determines its success. That is what determines if it's going to work fine or lead to marriage or achieve any other good goals that you set for the courtship. Okay, so let's take a commercial break and I'll be right back.
Are you searching for professional counseling services appealing and available to individuals, schools, families, communities, corporate and religious organizations at an affordable rate? Look no further. Show Up Counseling Clinic is a registered counseling firm and a recognized member of the Counseling Association of Nigeria. Show Up Counseling Clinic offers services in the following categories: toddler and preschool development counseling, pre-teens and teens counseling, premarital counseling, marital counseling, parenting, rehabilitation and remedial counseling, corporate counseling. Other services include book sales, library services and training. We also offer home services for children and the aged. Likewise, we treat addiction and offer therapy for mental well-being. Show Up Counseling Clinic is located at 99 Idito Bus Stop, adjacent Oluyolu Shasha O, Pulieleyele Road, Ibadan. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Show Up Counseling Clinic. For inquiry, visit our website www.shcounselingclinic.org.ng or call 0803 537 6009 or 0806 847 5755. Show Up Counseling Clinic, living people better than we met them.
Welcome back from that break. Once again, my name is Tosin Togun, a counseling psychologist, social worker, and God servant. Okay, so like I said, the whole time we are actually looking at symptoms of failing courtship. Why are we looking at symptoms of failing courtship? Where you actually know indication of a failing courtship. If that courtship is a courtship that you are so convinced about, then you can actually salvage it. You can actually do one or two things in your capacity to see that it sees the light of the day. And of course, you could even prevent all of these symptoms from the onset of your courtship if you know them. All right, let's start from defining courtship rightly, because if you don't know, what a particular season is meant for, abuse of such is inevitable. If you don't know what courtship actually is, you might actually abuse that period of your courtship. So that period of you can actually abuse that period of your relationship. Courtship is a period of time that two matured members of the opposite sex actually come together to actually make a marital proposal, that is tell themselves about the intention to have a marital journey, and they have consent to actually get involved in a journey, for a period of time. And that period of time is what is known as courtship. The period of time that two individuals, members of the opposite sex, come together to actually agree to get to know one another better is a period of courtship, yes. And also it's important to know that without marriage in view, then your relationship cannot be defined as courtship. So you have to have marital date, or you have to have marital goal. That is, you have to have marriage as your goal before you can say, oh, this is a courtship. All right, so having said all of that, it's also good that I said this, that not all courtship will lead to marriage, actually. Yes, and that is because of the following symptoms I'm going to talk about. But if you know how to manage all these symptoms or how to prevent them from the onset of your marriage, why not? You can actually have a very beautiful courtship, and you could actually have a courtship that will lead to marriage. Not just marriage, but a very blissful one. Okay, number one is little or no commitment. Yes, commitment is actually the heart of paying the price that is required to make your courtship work. Yes, the term commitment is kind of relative. That is, what commitment is to me might actually be different from what commitment is to you or to a third party. So that's why you have to actually know your values. You have to know exactly what your interest is in a marital relationship. You have to actually know what are those things that actually are like an hallmark of a good relationship to you. For me, one of mine is openness. As in, if you are going to go with me on a marital journey, of course I'm married. But one of the prices is that you have to be somebody who is very open, very open. Openness means a lot to me. All right, so you have to actually know yourself so that you can actually know your values and those things that you rate so high in a marital relationship. Okay, however, there are some basic commitments that no one can do without, and one of it is forgiveness. If you don't have a big heart, if you cannot forgive, in fact, don't get married. All right, so there has to be consistent forgiveness, and of course time. Yes, you have to be able to spend time together, and those are commitments. Relationship is not for babies. It's not for actually minds that are not trained well in handling situations. So definitely courtship is going to take much from you, and one of it is time. One of it is forgiveness. One of it is also giving. You're going to also give. You're going to give a lot. Give your time, give intellectually, give physically, give financially, give and give. Okay, it's going to take a lot, and that's one about commitment. There are many things that could actually communicate commitment to everyone, based on our personalities and how we actually receive and give love. All right, and number two is little or no communication, or let me put it like communication gap. All right, communication is so essential in a marital relationship. In fact, it is what communication is like what engine is to a car. That is what it is to a marital relationship. And in fact, communication to a marital relationship is like what an engine is to a car. So that's why it's very, very important. It's like the power of that particular relationship. So communication has to be, communication has to be, top notch. That is, there is feedback. There is the message is well decoded, and of course there is feedback. Prompt feedback. That is, both of you are involved in details, of one another, back to back. No space, no gap, no space, no gap. All right. And number three, which is where I'll be rounding up today, is when you begin to notice frequent unresolved conflicts. That is also calling your attention that your relationship or your courtship need immediate help. Okay, conflict in itself is not bad. That's why I want you to mark my word. I said frequent unresolved conflict. Conflict in itself is not bad. In fact, it does not take a position. It's very, very neutral. Is a very neutral occurrence in a marital relationship. It doesn't take position. It is how you handle it, how you resolve your conflict, that determine the response is going to have on your relationship, probably positive or negative. Okay, and that's why it's also very important that you learn or you have skills on how to resolve your conflicts. If you have frequent unresolved conflicts in your marital relationship, the effects of that is going to be negative on that particular marital relationship, and of course over time is going to affect the communication gap between you and your partner. That communication gap will be widened, and of course before you know it, it will wear down the commitment in that particular relationship, and of course that could lead to a breakup. And of course and in order for you to avoid all of this, you should know the symptoms even from the beginning, and this helps you to safeguard your marital relationship. So this is where I'll be stopping for today, and before I go, I want to tell you that you please subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's very, very important, and of course I want to believe that the video has been very helpful to you, so please help share. Of course, take it to the hands of your partner and also your friends and families. All right, don't forget my name. I'm your counseling psychologist, Tosin Togun. Bye. See you next time.